guys, what's going on? It's Ash here coming at you today in Raid Shadow Legends. I am not alone. I'm joined by HellHades, the man himself. Hades, what's up, man? How you doing?
I'm doing all right. Yeah, how are you, man?
I'm all right, man. Yeah, it's a pleasure. Always love chatting Raid with you. Today we're going to rank the top 5 legendaries in every faction here, updated for 2022. We're going to do half on your channel, half on my channel. But first, man, how you feeling? I know that you have COVID. I have COVID. It's a COVID special of legendary rankings, guys.
COVID bros. We weren't socially distancing enough. We're only like, I don't know, 10 hours away from each other.
Between us right now, I don't know, man.
Protect yourself and others. Keep your distance.
How many dumb, lame COVID dad jokes can we make, Hades? I don't know.
Speak for yourself.
But listen, man, I'm glad you're feeling better. I am as well. Yes. We're both on the tail end here of our sickness. You just got cleared today, right? Congratulations.
Yeah. Double clear today. So I'm back. Right. I'm allowed to eat dinner with my family again today.
Fantastic. But can you taste it is the question, you know?
Well, we'll see.
Okay. We're going to do half of these legendaries on my channel, the other half on your channel, so that video will be linked for you guys in the show notes below. But let's start with, where else? The Bannerlords. So let's just alternate here, Hades. Does that sound good to you? And you're the guest, so you go first. Just pick, you know, we'll just keep going until we get 5, right? I guess that's the order. Right, well, like we're drafting these champions, right?
Yeah, so my number 1, still, even though he's less relevant now, Septimus was like so much fun when I pulled this champion. Like when I got this champion, I was doing stuff that I'd never done in the game before. And he hits so hard. Like he absolutely crucifies anything up to level 20 dungeons. Like he is smacking those bosses so hard with his enemy max HP skill. He's just got to be up there as my favorite Bannerlord. Even though they kind of nerfed his abilities with the later game content, and now, you know, maybe an Armager puts him to shame. But
come on, man.
Up until that point, he's just been like one of the most fun pulls I've ever had in the game. So he's got to stand up there as number 1 for me.
Yeah, I agree with you, Septimus. I actually pulled him recently, man. And so I was like you know how those super popular champions, you pull them a little bit late sometimes. You're like, this is what everybody's talking about. You know in your head they're good, but then you actually experience it. And that was me with Septimus. I like this champion. He's not bad either in Hydra Clan Boss for some damage. Not amazing, but not awful. Okay, I'll go with my pick. I guess I'll get the obvious out of the way. Actually, you know what? Maybe it's obvious to some, but Sothali is one of my most wanted champions, Hades.
Oh, you don't have her? No?
I don't have her, man. She's so great, a 108 base speed, good base stats, but more importantly, she's removing all debuffs from an ally, placing block buffs on them. This is on a 2-turn cooldown with a heal and turn meter of all other allies, and then she's also stripping away the buffs, decreasing and filling turn meter as well on a 3-turn cooldown. The aggress ability, man, I hate going against it in the arena, and I just know that I want this chick on my team, man.
Well, I slept on Sothali for a while. I had her and I didn't really use her. And then I was chatting to some of the high-end plat level PvP players, and they were like, whoa, Sothali is awesome. Like, you know, she is bringing a ton to your team, especially with that A3.
Yeah.
So yeah, I totally agree. And actually, she's got the biggest heal in the game, I think, on that A2, which I don't know if you've ever played around with an Ironclad, but Ironclad does damage based on his overheal.
Yeah.
He's so fun, like, and she is the best partner to him. So that's cool. Something, really cool mechanics in that one.
If I ever get her, maybe I'll build him and I'll give it a try.
You should. Yeah,
all right.
A lot of fun.
You're up next, man.
Okay, so I'm gonna pick out Raglan.
Okay.
Now Raglan she's a bit off meta, honestly. She doesn't kind of feature in the best teams in the game, but she has got the best revive in the game, in my opinion. So she brings revive an ally on her A3. Almost with full health and a full turn meter. That's the important part. And it books to a 2-turn.
2-turn.
So, I mean, she's just a bit nutty in terms of keeping your team alive and, you know, making sure that you 3-star stuff in faction wars or get yourself through content. She's also got the full cleanse on the A2 and heal. And it's a chunky heal as well. And then she's got a bit of a turn meter fill on her A1, but just a solid old school champion. Like, she's not got all the fancy stuff in her kit that some of the new ones have. You know, you really know what you're going to get with her, and I think it's pretty damn solid.
Yeah, and she has defense in all battles on her aura too, 33%. So a great aura lead for any team in any area. And I agree with you on that, on the miracle ability, man. It feels cool to revive with a full turn meter every other turn. On this champ. One question I have for you, HellHades, I'm not sure if you know this one, not to put you on the spot, but on this, the heal amount is proportional to this champion's attack. So I've just never messed around with her attack on my Raglan. I just kind of run her, right? Have you tried to like really get that attack up and see if it affects the heal dramatically? And it does. It does?
It is a it can be a massive heal. It's honestly a bit of a weird one though. Like,
why?
I don't get what they're thinking there. She's a support champion. Everything about her kit is go fast and stay alive.
Yeah.
But a heal is proportional to the damage she does, which she can only do damage off her A1. It's just weird. It does. It pumps her heal. It pumps her heal up a lot.
But it's good to know. I think I'm gonna go in there and maybe I'll mess around a little bit with her.
I feel a little bit cheated here.
So we have Septimus, we have Sothali, we have Raglan. Now things get a little bit interesting. For me, that's like the little cliff that now we have a next echelon here. And I'm gonna go with Hillier for my choice.
Okay.
He's kind of a new champion. He's a boatload of defense, 1542 base defense, so he's pretty easy to keep this dude alive. I was a little disappointed when I pulled him. I was super excited. When I actually, used him, I was a little disappointed. I was expecting a little bit more from this champion. His damage is based off defense. Really, the Solar Blessing, the A2 ability, I was thinking miscreated monster on steroids. This guy's going to be a beast, because he's placing a shield on all allies equal to 20% of the damage inflicted on a 3-turn cooldown, which is great. However, doesn't do that much damage. Like, his multipliers are not that out of control, even for a defense-based champion. But still, it's a solid shield to have. Obviously effective when there's more enemies, spider areas like that. Also using him Solar Blessing against Ice Golem 25 just to keep the team alive, when he has those hard-hitting AoE attacks, because the shield will get beefed up because of the 2 minions. So there's some definite use cases. He also transfers all buffs from all allies to a target enemy and then attacks the enemy, which is a unique ability. For whatever reason, though, it doesn't, obviously it works, but it doesn't make as a dramatic effect as I kind of hope this ability would have made. So I'm not sure if you have him, but either way, he can absorb damage too on the passive. Either way, I think he's a really solid champion. Just I was expecting maybe like top 20 champion. He's definitely not that, in my opinion.
Yeah, so I don't have him. Okay. I have used him. I've used someone else's account with him, and the thing I was most interested about with this guy was this converts resistance into accuracy to use that A3. So I'm thinking you could build him as an absolute resist tank.
Yeah.
And still he lands all of his only ability that needs accuracy. So that's kind of like a cool part to his kit. I was a bit underwhelmed though when I used him compared to, probably like what you're saying, compared to what I thought he would do.
Yeah.
And it's mainly the damage levels weren't really there for someone with such a massive base defense. And
you think, right?
Yeah. But when I'm looking at top 5, he's probably creeping in there because you've almost got a lot of champions here on a similar level,
right?
For the next group.
Are you going to sit there and really argue Black Knight versus Hillier versus Manaya?
Well, this is it.
Versus,
and I think like a case to be said for your Chamfer, Black Knight, probably even Lugan.
Yeah.
The
Baron.
one I'm actually going to pick out for my 5th is Hillier.
Hey.
What?
Yeah.
I love it.
I know people are going to be like, "What the hell are you on about?" But
I'm like hovering with. I'm like, He's going to go Baron. He's going to maybe Richthof, maybe Killian. I love it, man. I love it. All right, why do you like this leprechaun?
And the thing is, like, Lord Chamfer does more. Honestly, Lord Chamfer is just like the solo king, and I'm sure people are going to be very disappointed in me down below.
This is why we brought you on for the hot takes, man. We're not here to give the, the chalk.
But this guy is just like faction war god. I love this guy for the amount of control he's got. People just write him off because he doesn't hit that hard, and he's a bit of a funky champion. But honestly, you got your decreased speed and turn meter control in the A1. You've got block active steals, which can spread to the whole enemy team on the A2, which is a massive steal. That ability is so good for locking out a wave.
It is a 4-turn on a 3-turn cooldown too. You never noticed that?
Yeah, it's actually a crazy ability. Like, you guarantee lock 1, but you've also got a good chance, like 50-50, of locking out everybody. And then you've got a stun on the A3 as well. His passive's just kind of a bit weird, but his actual kit is really good at locking down waves of enemies. So yeah, for people that are struggling with content, he can come in and do a lot of work. So yeah, I just feel like he's underrated. And for me, certainly for Faction Wars, if people have got him in there struggling, I'm like, put him in your team. You will not believe what he does.
Dude, I'm going to build freaking Killing the Lucky because of you, Hades, man. I'm going to do it. I'm going to do it, man. All right. Cool. High Elves. Maybe this will be that was our 5 was. You guys already know the 5. I'm not going to make this video any longer than it needs to be. High Elves. So I will lead off here. I guess I'll go with an obvious choice. There's quite a few obviouses here, but I'll go with Ethos. I pulled Ethos fairly recently within the last 6 months. And what can I say? I'm a big fan. He's just a nuker. I mean, I need to spend too much time on Ethos. I feel like he's just doing a ton of damage, doing it very effectively.
Blows stuff up.
Absolutely. And that's about it. I mean, I have nothing else to say. Do you have anything to say about Ethos?
No, I think it's cool. I think you're right. Yeah,
one of the better
top 5 easy
nukers in the game, certainly.
Yeah.
AoE nukers. All right, who do you have?
Well, look, I'm going to come pretty obvious as well, and I'm just going to throw Arbiter out there. Like, she's obtainable for everybody. Probably harder right now than before with the arena getting a bit weird again, but she revives your whole team. She speeds people up. She's in nearly every Gold 4 arena team that exists, which shows how amazing she is as a champ. She gives you increased attack, turn meter, revive. She's got so much in her kit. She's a brilliant champion.
You name it, she does it. I love it. And we'll stay on the speed theme here, and I'll go Lysandra. Lysandra, same kind of deal. She has the best speed aura for all battles, tied with a bunch of other champions. She's got the energize ability, reduce and increase turn meter, and put increased speed on everybody. And then no big deal, she's just fully exhausting the target's turn meter on the A2 as well. Has to get debuff transfer on the A1. When you're looking for speed or a Fire Knight specialist or just a turn meter depletion specialist, none better than Lysandra out there. So Lysandra is an easy choice for me.
And this faction is like, it's got a lot of good champions here.
Yeah,
absolutely loaded. Compared to the Bannerlords, which was pretty poor compared to it. Like, there's not even, it's like we're playing a different game.
Yeah. This is going to be interesting who you go with next here, because I have a couple that could make the cut.
Yeah, well, I'm bringing out the new fusion, Chador.
Yeah. Good choice.
What a great fusion this is. This is what we needed at the back end of the year for a fusion champion, like to absolutely play on everybody's account. Whether you're an endgame player, a newer player coming up, there's so much this champion does. And you can use them in so many places. So whether it's clan boss for your block debuffs, free turn cooldown, increased defense, you've got perfect veil, which is going to help you with that Hydra challenge. You've got the freeze passive, so that when this champion takes damage in wave content like Doom Tower or Faction Wars, she's got a chance to freeze them and reflect a bit back. Just such a solid champion. I really like the kit.
Yeah.
And easy top 5 for me.
I agree with you. Great addition to the game. Helped a lot of players' accounts, so I have nothing to add there other than I completely agree. So I think that we have 1, 2. So this is already the 5th, man.
Yeah.
I feel the weight. I feel the pressure. But I'm actually gonna
as a pressure pick this one.
Yeah, I'm gonna pull a super curveball here. I'm curious who you would go with. I have it on the screen who I'm gonna go with, but I guarantee it's not the same guy.
Well, shall I say your name then, and then
say
you talk about your one?
Who do you think I'm gonna guess? Who do you think I'm gonna go
I would have gone with Noral.
Okay. I love Noral, but I'm going Basilius Ronus. After his
buff.
You?
Wow, I would not have picked that one out. Okay.
Yeah.
Dude, I'm right here.
He got a big buff. His multipliers went up a lot. I think his multipliers went up around, like, depending on the skill, from 50 to 75% on each. So his multipliers really went up a lot. He's still not, like, the best nuker in the game, but he went from being a rather, like, what do you say, the wet noodle, right, Hades?
Yeah,
from being a little bit more formidable. He's really similar now to Astralon in some ways, being force affinity, because he has the guaranteed stun on an AoE now.
True, actually. Yeah, actually, it's a fair call. I remember playing with him on the test server after he got his buff, and I was impressed. Actually, I still had the old Roanus in my head.
Yeah.
When you called that out, but it's a fair shout, actually.
Yeah, so now on that A3, we get a guaranteed stun on an AoE. This is obviously a Force Affinity champion, so I think it's the only one to have that. Well, there's only a couple of champions anyway to have it. And then we have the multipliers going up on this triple puncture. Makes it a lot better than it used to be, right? Now we're ignoring defense and shield and block damage as well as 50% of the defense, and it actually means a little bit of something now. You can actually do pretty well in the arena with this. So you can run him as kind of like a CC champion in the arena or just anywhere that you need, you know, to stun the enemies, faction wars anywhere else. So I think that now he kind of pushes him a little bit over the edge, but there's a lot of good choices here. Eleanor and Shermani too. I could have gone with Yannicka.
Yeah, I mean, Huntsman, since his buff is actually really solid as well. Yannicka's also solid. Like, this is a good faction. This is really good faction.
It sure is. Rip Bellinor. No one mentioned the other boy. Anyway, Sacred Order, you're up, man.
I'm up. Okay, let's start off with Sonic. So Sonic, I mean, he's probably now a bit of a left field pick actually, because there are a lot of champions that maybe have gone past him in the game, but still for an HP based champion that's very easy to keep alive. He brings an absolute cannon of an A2 AoE ability, which also shields your team when he does that damage. He also brings an unkillable buff, so he starts to play in unkillable clan boss teams and all sorts like that. Absolutely pushes you through this faction for faction wars because of that ability as well. Freeze, which doesn't need any accuracy on his A1. Just a solid old school champion, I would say. So I really like Sonic.
Yep, I completely agree. I actually bought him. I bought him in the shop there.
Did you? Yeah, I remember we spoke about that on our last video, didn't we?
Yeah. So he's been pretty cool. I use him on my Ice Golem team. I use like him and who the heck else did I say earlier? Anyway, I use like 2 support champions. Oh, Hillier or whatever.
Yes, yeah.
And then just a bunch of DPS on top of that. I'm gonna go with 2. I'm gonna cheat Hades. I'm gonna go with 2 back to back because they're companion champions, and it's Venus and Cupidus. Hopefully you don't mind me going back to back there. Says so, especially with Hydra Clan Boss, like this companion team. You know, there are always, I think that people who are lucky enough to have them, a Void Legendary and another Legendary on top of that, already knew that they're actually really good companion champions together. Cupidus has a strong AoE on the A1, can deal tons of damage anywhere, really, but especially against a Hydra Clan Boss. He can deal insane multipliers on his A3, especially Flame Out, hitting for like 200, 300k against the Hydra Clan Boss. And then he has HP burn as well on his A2. He inflicts 25% more damage to targets under debuffs when Venus is on the same team, and he's fast. And he has great multipliers. Like, I think he's an underrated champion, has attack in all battles as well as an aura lead by 33%. So I like Cupidus. I've always liked Cupidus, but now again, with the Hydra Clan Boss, Venus and Cupidus are like my dynamic duo on my #1 squad. Venus, same thing. She's fast, a ton of HP, AoE decreased defense, weaken 3-turn cooldown, AoE HP burn. On the A1, she's got poisons with a very hard hitter. And then when Cupidus is on the same team, again, removes all buffs from all enemies, and then has a 50% chance of granting an extra turn. So I realize that not most people have both these champions, but I'm a big fan, even independently, of both of them. I'm not sure if Cupidus would fall top 5. Yeah, I think he would. I would still put Cupidus top 5 personally. But yeah, I love both those champions. Any thoughts?
Yeah, so a really cool team up. This is what I wish I'd do more of, actually. Like the team ups.
Yeah.
Which are quite simple but effective. So 25% straight damage increase is a really cool team up ability. I think sometimes they try and get too complex with their team up stuff, and it actually doesn't really work, like the Bellinar type thing. But for this, I would totally agree. And since Hydra's been added, value up for sure.
Yeah. Now that I look though, it is going to be tough now. I'm making it tough on you, man, on these next 2.
Well, look, I still feel like we need to pull out. It's tough because this is a really good faction as well.
Yeah, because there's a few that should definitely be there. I don't know.
Marta's got to be in. So Marta is just such a good champion. And I mean, I remember back in the day when I first started doing tier lists, and we're talking probably a couple of years ago now, she was #1. Yep. She was literally #1 champion in the game. 1 of 3 in the game, full team, or 1 of 2 full team counter attackers. She gives you increased defense on the same skill. 3-turn cooldown is so good. She brings you a drop defense and an AoE drop attack and provoke. So much in her kit. She hits hard as well. Massively kind of cool defensive unit, easy to keep alive. Her only letdown really is that she's a bit slow.
Yeah, 93 speed.
At 93 speed. But in terms of a defensive unit, you know, she's still one of the best in the game. So
totally
Parter comes in for me.
And
should I throw another one in?
Is
it me to go again?
Yeah. I'm making it so tough on you, man, because it's like 3 choices, man, maybe more.
Astralon's cool.
It's got to be this, though. It's got to be this one.
You know what? Probably the best champion left for me is Cardiel.
Yes.
But actually, because she's so beautiful, Glycea. I'm going to call out Glycea. Because I love the look of this champion. I just think, wow, the art team have literally gone so far past good on this one. Like, they are so far past. It's absolutely ridiculous. I guess with Cardiel, it's actually similar. It's a ridiculously cool looking champion, but Glycea, I just really want this champion purely for the aesthetics. And she actually has got a very cool kit as well, or a fun kit. You know, she brings the passive, which is the best anti-warlord we've got. Still not quite there, but it's as good as it gets so far. And you need it in the arena if you're going up against him, because he's an absolute menace. But AoE weaken as well. A full team block debuffs and a chance to freeze the enemy. Like, the kit is really strong, even if you're not facing warlords. So I really like this champion, and I think she is just looking good. Like, she has got everything going on.
You have a little Ash Show the Drake's Crush going on here.
It is something like that.
Yeah.
It is something like that. I went all in with 25 sacreds, and I didn't get her.
I did the same thing, man. I don't know how many I pulled, but I didn't get her either. I did try for it though. Listen, I'm gonna be that guy and take away Cupidus and put Cardiel in for my pick. I'm not gonna spend a lot of time going over his kit, but I do think he's probably one of the best champions out there. So
he is cool.
I think that Cardiel, with the ally attack and everything that he brings to the table on his A2, definitely deserves the nod over my man.
He does
Cupidus.
He deserves to be in the top 5. He does. Even the way he's standing, he's like that. Are you serious? Are you serious? You didn't pick me?
Exactly. He's really upset about it. So are all my viewers. So there you go, guys. All right. Barbarians, here we go. This is a tough one, man, I think. All right.
It's a pretty small faction, isn't it?
It's a small faction, and they're all good except for maybe 2. So I'm going to lead off with my girl. Why not, man? You just talked about your girl, I'll talk about mine. Drakes, you're looking good today, honey. You're looking good. I mean, what else can I say about this champion other than she's the best thing that Raid Shadow Legends, aka Playerum, ever did in the history of the game?
Stop it. Get some help.
They gave us, everybody, access to one of the best support champions in the game. Decreased speed. People forget that she has decreased speed and turn meter on the A1. They just kind of focus often on the AoE stun. Pretty dependable land rate on a 3-turn cooldown. We have the revive with ally protect. We have the heal and the random increased speed buffs that she's just dropping throughout the course of the battle. I think that she just brings so much to the table. Can help out every player. To kind of what you were saying earlier about somebody, or Tatura, end game, early game, mid game, you name it. Everybody can make use of Syl. I mean, I could sit here and talk for an hour about her, but I think that we'll leave it at that. She's an amazing champion.
Yeah, 100%. Yeah, 100%. Totally agree.
Okay.
Okay, so I'm going to pick on a Scarg.
Okay.
What a beast of a champion we've got here. No one's getting past her, that's for sure. But she is a fantastic champion. So when she was first released, I wasn't sure. But now she is in probably the best plat defense arena teams in the game. And she is a dependable, almost a required champion if you're trying to go for that kind of top 100 spot. She has got a nuts passive. I think she might be the only champion in the game, or certainly one of only a couple that have got ally protection that goes on for as many turns as its cooldown, so it stays up the whole time, and strengthen as well, 2 of the best buffs. She's also got a decent hit on her A2 if you put a good level of HP on her, which you can, because she's got good base stats, crazy quick, great defense. She's just a unit and very, very difficult to take down when she gets going. So I really like her. Fun champ.
I agree with you. She is a boss. And think about it, with the 50% ally protect and 25% strengthen on a 3-turn cooldown, plus her passive, you are mitigating so much damage, you know? I mean, 75% of damage allies receive just off the A3, and then add the passive, and then I have her in a Guardian set too, so we're getting even more damage mitigation, and you can really do some cool things. What is the team, if you know off the top of your head, that is most used with her in Platinum defense? Like, what champions do you see alongside her the most?
Generally, it's her alongside a Duchess. So Duchess has got the same type of damage mitigation. Yeah, so between the two of them, they kind of mitigate the damage, and then really you're throwing in one of a number of others. So Warlord's generally in the mix, and somebody either as like a win condition, like a Candrafon, or another annoying champion like a Hedgie, and it's just literally like a full lockout style team where you don't expect to win, but you also don't expect to lose, which means you win.
Yeah, it's like have fun not attacking me because you're gonna waste a half an hour if you do. Cool.
Exactly that.
All right. Next up, I will go with. I'm gonna go with. I mean, I have to go with Valkyrie. One of us has to do it, so I'm gonna do it. I think she's the best. She's definitely a case for the top 3 champion in the game. Still, you mentioned the Martyr. Like back in the day, it was always Martyr and Valkyrie. You know, those because they both have the counterattack. To your point earlier, she has one of the, if not the, still best shield in the game with the counterattack on all allies. A very annoying passive as well. You can use in the arena. You can use this champion everywhere. One of the best supports still in the game. One of the best for clan boss. What else is there to say?
Yeah, awesome champ. Awesome champ. And I love that her shield just scales infinitely with defense.
Right?
So
just keep stacking it. Yep.
You just keep going. You just get the massive shield scale.
And she has
really
1600 base defense almost. 1597. She's really incredible. Fast.
Back in the day, before we had all of the Guardian Ring and all that type of stuff going on, I built one out for a clan boss team that had like 8k defense. So I wonder what I could do now. Maybe I should try it at some point. But
try it again. Like take her to the limit, right? That'd be a cool video to watch. Who you have next? We have 3 down, 2 more to go here.
Yeah, so I'm gonna pick up Tahanarak.
Okay, that was gonna be my.
So again, when she came out, I wasn't that sure that she really was worthy of Void Legendary. Honestly.
Oh man, dude.
But I was wrong. I think so. Great passive. Yeah. So we've got a Doom Priest Mark II. Removing 2 random debuffs, and the more content that drops, the better she becomes, because everything that drops is now tons of debuffs coming at you, tons of things to try and clear off, and she just does it so well on a passive every time she gets a turn. But that's not all. She brings good buffs herself, increased speed, increased defense. She's got good debuffs and a debuff spread, which can be really useful as well. Just generally a great champion, and with Hydra now in the mix, her debuffs become more and more valuable. Things like decreased speed, block buffs, super valuable on Hydra. So yeah, her kit has just, or her value, I guess, has just gone up since Hydra's kind of come into the game. But yeah, fun champion. And again, aesthetically, what a great looking champion.
Absolutely right.
Love
She's
it.
Like, yeah, very, very cool aesthetics, and totally agree with you, man. I think she's amazing. I mean, because I love Doom Priest so much, and she's like Doom Priest times 1,000,000. I mean, minus the heal, but she's bringing so much more to the table. So yeah, totally agree. I love Tahanarak. All right.
Do you have her?
I don't. I wish I had her, man. I wish I had her. You don't have her either?
I don't have her either. No, she's on my wish list.
I think that you had a big thing for Altan way back in the day.
I did. Altan was like a favorite. He was like a crowd favorite.
Yeah, but I'm not sure if I would put him there though anymore. I think he's gotten crept a little bit, He has. He still hits. I mean, he hits he's
like a truck. I really, and that's a lot of fun when he gets going. But there's just too many champs in the game now, which just do a lot more.
So for me, it's between Turvold and Scarg and Contra. I do think that Turvold's great, but he's very one-dimensional. Contra is amazing, but kind of like a hidden gem amazing. But I guess you can say the same thing about Scarg. I don't know. I'm going to give it to Elder Scarg, man. And it might surprise some people, it might not. I don't know who you would have went with.
I would have gone with Elder Scarg, but
okay.
Yeah, I had the same 3 in my head. Like, it could have been either of them, really.
Okay, so he has he has increased speed on himself. He has, I think you've done more with this champion than I have, so maybe you can speak a little bit more to how amazing he is. But he has the HP burn on a 3-turn cooldown on the A2. On the A3, he's doing all this crap, and actually, I should go back to the A2, right? He's placing an extra hit.
The A2 is his big one. Yeah, his A2 is the cool one.
He's hitting 3 times, and then an extra hit for each buff or debuff on the target can go 3 extra hits. If he places all the hits. He is, what is he doing? True Fear on all enemies. And then stealing all the
HP burn.
And HP burn. No big deal. No big deal.
So basically wow. For Spider 25, like, HP burn is the way to go for most teams. So as long as you've got debuffs landing before he goes, he's basically throwing HP burn, but also the True Fear, which means 50-50. Those spiderlings aren't even going to attack you, but they still tick the damage. So yeah, it's a pretty nutty A2. Yeah. It's also the hardest hitting single target ability in the game.
Ooh, okay.
If he hits for the 6 hits.
I think if he goes off 6, yeah.
Yeah. So if he gets those 6 hits off, there's no one in the game that can do more damage with like a single ability. Which is really cool as well.
I love it, man. All right, so Elder Scarg is the last choice. You would have went with the same dude. Sounds good. Let's move on to Ogre in here.
Do it. Ogre and Tribes. So
well, there's only 7 of them.
Who don't we want?
Everybody gets it. Maybe we should do a list of who doesn't make the top 5.
Gergo is my first.
Okay.
So I got him quite early on my account, so he kind of holds a soft spot for me. But yeah. I love the AoE freeze, but also he clears 2 buffs out the way first. So if you're up against someone like a Chris in the arena, you know you're cleaning off all of their defense, and then you're freezing them. And he gets another turn as well where he can just kind of roll in, and he does a lot of damage.
Yeah.
Passives gives him a chance to freeze as well. You can kind of build him either as a fast, high accuracy unit that is going to land that ability, or you can actually build him high damage and have him as a real threat as well. So, fun champ. And really different as well in this game in terms of the way he looks. I really like that he's just so unique. So yeah, number 1 for me.
Yep, I agree. Hard-hitting A3, grants an extra turn, love that stuff, and a cool passive as well. I'll go with another... I feel like there's a couple more obvious choices. I'll go with one of them in Bigen. Bigen, similar to you and Gergo, he was my first legendary that I ever pulled on this account.
Oh, really?
And so he has that, you always remember your first here, Hades, and this dude has an AoE on every attack as long as the first one is critical. He's bringing turn meter, he's bringing decreased speed on the A3, he's smacking hard on the Molten Slag, and then same thing, just insane damage out of this champion, but he's bringing more than just the damage, unlike a lot of other, AoE nukers in the game. So Bigen is still one of the better nukers out there, in my opinion.
Yeah, don't have him actually, but he looks like a great champ for sure.
Yeah, he's pretty cool.
Loads of AoE. Yeah.
All right.
But, okay, well I'm gonna pick up the next class as the next easy one.
Yeah.
Ignatius, Bigen's brother.
Yeah, they look the same. Yeah.
Yeah. Cool champion. His HP burn on an AoE can't be resisted, so you don't need accuracy to make it land. Which is also really cool when you get up to like high level Doom Tower against Soraf, where you're trying to land that burn.
Right.
And Soraf's resistance is like 1,000,000 or something, and you just can't do it. So he comes in and just rolls up there, make sure it goes on, make sure that she sits down. He also hits really hard with his A2 and A3 on AoEs. So for a defensive based champion, it's really easy to keep him alive, really easy to punch out a lot of damage. So I was using him originally as my first ever Nightmare campaign farmer. So farming 12-6 with him, and he would just literally roll in, bit of lifesteal gear, lots of damage, and he would just be cruising through it in a really quick time. So yeah, for me, he's easy number 3.
Absolutely. Do you use him anywhere other than Faction Wars and Frostbiter?
Not anymore, no. He was the first champion that I used to clear by the 20 back in the day. Like he was the go-to, but I mean now again, like there's quite a creep in the game of a lot of other HP burners have come into the game basically, and his cooldown is a bit long. 5-turn cooldown if you book it on the HP burn, which is just a bit long.
True. All right, so I'm gonna probably shock the world here. The crazy thing is, man, is like I think that Shamrock and Draco are maybe like slightly underrated, basically saying that I think they're average legendaries where most people think that they're like bad, really below at bad. But I also am going to continue my shocking proclamations here. And I'm going to go with War Mother.
Oh, wow. I didn't see that one coming.
I know. The one that everybody just... But the crazy thing about War Mother is, man, is she got another buff. And I think that she's just like low key behind the scenes, She's still the, War Mother thing that everybody's like, whatever. But look at her kit, man. It's not that bad. And even the fact that bombs aren't meta, they're more useful with Bommel. They keep like adjusting the bomb damage. A little bit more useful for Hydra. So we're slowly getting there. But even beside that, you know, in the end game, War Mother's not going to have a big spot on a team unless you're trying a bomb strategy. But everywhere else, like, she's solid. She has decreased attack on her A1. On her A2, a hard-hitting in its own right AoE with 2 bombs detonate after 2 turns, bomb damage doubled against bosses. So it's a bomb champion that does even better against bosses. Then she comes in with the A3, another hard-hitting AoE again, so 2 AoEs in the kit. Instantly detonates all bombs if she's under the increased attack. So I hate the having to be under increased attack there, but I really feel like if you're just looking for a bomb specialist, you really can't get better than War Mother out there in the game right now. And with the decreased attack, nice to have against bosses too. Am I crazy, Hades?
Well, you're a bit crazy, but I get where you're going. The trouble is, bombs don't have a place in the game at the moment. They just straight up don't work in the game. They haven't figured it out, and they keep trying. They keep trying to make them relevant.
They're trying.
Those stone skins come in now, so you know, bombs all of a sudden, maybe in a month, bomb meta might be in because you need to blow up stone skin. But at the moment you can't. But I won't take away the fact that she hits really hard. Forget bombs. Her A2 and her A3 both hit really hard on AoEs.
Yeah. If you go
and people
to, like,
don't realize
Ash,
that.
Have you seen the Ash Voyager? I mean, you know this on your own website, like the multipliers.
Oh yeah,
like,
she's got good multipliers.
She's up there, like, top in the game in terms of AoE nukers and just like it's sheer damage potential. So anyway, that's enough War Mother talk. But I guess we're on the fence a little bit. Who are you gonna go with, man? Out of these,
but the thing is, you didn't have a lot left. You really didn't have a lot left to choose. I actually, who you gonna I'm going to pick Gerbtuck as my fifth.
I thought you were going to,
I don't really add a lot of value to Shamrock, although Shamrock might be now just a bit better with Hydra in terms of an AoE drop speed. Could come into play. But Gerbtuck, I think, slowly creeps into the meta in a number of ways. So his block buffs AoE is good in the arena against Swift Parry. It's been good there for a while. But it's also now good against Hydra. He's one of only 2 champions in the game that have got a passive that just spiked your damage a crazy amount. Him and Bad L. And he's also got a cleanse. He's also got some healing. So he was terrible when he came out. They buffed him, and he's kind of low-key sits in the background, but he's still like a decent champ. So he's my number 5. But yeah, this tribe is lacking. It's lacking a lot.
Yeah, I would have gone with Shamrock myself, but you know, Draco, Gerbtuck, and Shamrock, they're like I feel like none of them are awful. They're just not great either. So okay, we don't have to belabor the point. Let's go to Lizardmen. I'll let you go with the obvious, and I'll start things off with, I don't know. Should we even include Basatha or not? What do you think?
Well, I'm not. I was going to say Basatha and. I guess Romantu people do. I don't think so because he's just so far away.
Okay.
I don't think there's a point.
Yeah, I think he will be. You know, potentially number 1 once people actually have him. So I'll just go with Dracomorph then. Keep it simple here. We have the AoE decreased defense and weaken on 3-turn cooldown. We have 4 freaking poisons on the 3-turn cooldown on the A2, and we have a ton of damage on the A1. What else is there to say? Dracomorph still, you know, maybe a tiny bit of power creep. You know, they keep adding all these decreased defense champions to the game, but still not many like Draco. Not any who have a kit like Draco in terms of the overall sheer damage potential with the poisons as well. So he's there for me still, obviously.
Yeah, cool. No, I totally agree. And I'm going to throw out the next easy one then, which is going to be Krisk.
Sure.
I don't have him. I really want him still.
What do you have?
I wanted him from the day he was released. I wailed back then. That was before I was a content creator. Dude, I still want him now.
Do you try to pull him like every 10x that he's possibly a part of? Do you try to get him?
I have done, yeah.
Oh my God, man.
Every time he's there. It's just, just never had the luck to get him. But it's one of those things. I mean, he just brings so much. His kit it's like 2 champions rolled into one. You know, if you want decrease attack and defense, he just needs to take a knock, and he's putting it out there. He provokes enemies, increases your defense, increases your speed, ally protection. Like, it's just so much in his kit. Great for Hydra, great for Clan Boss, great for the arena. Just, I'd say for me, if I was starting an account again and I said I want 1 champion to carry me through the game, I'd jump on his shoulders and let him carry me.
100% agree. 100% agree. He is unlike any, not to rub it in, Hades, but like, you know, people say this, that like, oh, I got this champion and it just changed everything for me. For me, when I got him, I had not completed the Lizardmen Faction Wars, you know, the crypt yet. And I think I was on stage like 16 and it was just like auto cruise control, eyes closed, clear the red boss, level 21. And like, that's just one little example, but he just was like what he does is unbelievable. But all right, we could sit here and talk about Krisk all day. So I'll move it. Ooh, this is a tough one here all of a sudden. I'm going to go with Fushon. So I'm a little bit maybe biased by Fushon. I actually like this guy. I empowered him on my account, and he has a speed aura. But I think he's a little underrated. You know, he has an A2 that's basically a mirror of Soul the Drake's A2 with the AoE stun double hitter. And then he has decreased defense on a 4-time hitter. Not an amazing A3 to be fair, but still is on a 3-turn cooldown. Decent multipliers. Can put out a lot of damage with this guy, basically. And he's fast and just efficient. Force Affinity Nuker with a speed aura. Pretty cool, pretty unique in that regard. And yeah, I'm just a big fan of Fushon.
Yeah, his A1's fun as well. I've seen him hit 4 or 5 times in a row, that A1. With his chance to extra hit, it just keeps popping sometimes. And
25% is solid, because we've all seen it with Sears. She has a 10%, you know? And I've had it with Sears, so picture that, but, you know, 25. So it's a pretty cool champ. Who you have here?
Okay. Number 4. So I'm going with Chador, the new Void champion. So I'm picking out Voids here, which I don't like to always do, but this guy is...
He's so cool.
Kind of broken. It's kind of nut. Like, this guy is nuts.
Yep.
Puts out an AoE poison and drop defense on his A2. And then everything else kind of then snowballs from that. So if someone has a turn that's got the poison on them, he pops in there with his A1. Just after they're about to take the turn, they take the poison damage, and then he hits them with the A1 and sleeps them before they get to take their actual turn. And it's just crazy. Like, I think you could solo so much with this guy, up until bosses at least. Like, he's an absolute wave machine, stopping anyone from having a turn. And he hits pretty damn hard with his A3 as well.
He has such a cool like poison synergy in his kit. It's it reminds me a little bit like different kits, but a little of like Calvalax, you know?
Yeah.
Who would you rather have, him or Calvalax, if you could choose?
That's hard. That's hard. I mean, for my account, I'd rather have Calvalax because he's like a nuker, and he's going to bring the numbers.
Cool.
But this guy, like, again, like if you just got to pick one for an account, this guy is the control freak. Like, no champions are getting an attack against you if he's in the mix.
Yeah, very cool. I wish I had this dude. You don't have him, do you?
No, I don't. No, okay. He's on my list as well.
Got you. So the 5th choice for me is between Rosin and Ramantu. If we're going to pick Ramantu, I'm going to have to go with him, though, over Rosin, even though I think that Rosin's great. I think that Ramantu, I don't have him. I think people have been pretty underwhelmed. A lot of people have been kind of underwhelmed. But I think that's also a thing of expectations, you know? Like, he is the end character that you get from beating the game, so he should be the best. He should be Lydia even better, you know? Whereas in reality, I think he's still really, really good. If you look at his kit, it's hard not to say, like, you take away all expectations. It's the game of life, right? It is like... It's a battle of expectations. You go in thinking someone's going to be the best champion ever, probably going to let you down. Anyway, he still has to block active skills, block passive skills. He's still landing like every debuff known to man here. Has a chance of True Fear on all enemies depending on the amount of debuffs on the target. And then he has that unique block passive skills, which nobody else in the game has. There's a lot more to his kit other than that, but I'll be here all day if I read it all. I think he's still a really solid champion.
Yeah, well, I think that block passive skills is what defines him as a standout champion. And again, talk sort of plat level arena, people are using him to block out those crazy abilities, those crazy passives from your Duchess, your Cephis, your Otus, like all of these guys who are plat level champions. He basically wipes out a lot of their kit with his block passive skills. So actually, that's a really unique and cool ability.
Absolutely. Has accuracy in all values too. Not too bad, not too bad. So yeah, that's Lizardman.
I'm just going to quickly shout.
Yeah, sure.
Bardol, I don't know if you've seen in the patch notes yet, but he just got a buff.
He did, you're right. Yep.
And not that he's suddenly a top 5 for this faction, but he is now easily soloing Scarab. Like, easily. He breaks that shield down super easy. As soon as he takes a hit from the Scarab boss, he breaks shield, And if you put him in a regen set with a bit of resistance, all right, it won't be the quickest run in the world, but he kind of goes into that group now of people that can just deal with Scarab boss for you. So
that's cool.
Just worth a shout out.
Yeah, definitely worth building if someone has them in their vault or something. But now because they added this this language to the passive, and was it so they added the Scarab King enemy max HP, and then I think the Abyssal Clutch, they brought it down to a 4-turn from a 5, I think originally.
Yeah, they did. Yeah. So the main thing that's changed the Scarab boss is he now decreases max HP of bosses, which he didn't used to do on his passive.
Yep.
But yeah, he's also got a 3-turn instead of 4 now.
Yeah, we can be booked down to 3, booked down to 3. So now he can be a reliable decrease attack to keep it up there. So not bad, the good call out there. All right, Skinwalkers. We have this is our last faction on my
last
video.
one, yeah.
All right, here we go.
Yeah. Okay.
So yeah, go ahead first.
Is it me first? Yeah, I can't remember.
I don't know, I lose track.
Okay, I'm gonna come out with the first. Oh, who do we go with? I'm gonna go with Longbeard.
Okay. All right.
So Longbeard has pretty much got maybe a top 2 in the game ally attack ability. Because he straight up just gives you 20% more damage. Take whatever you were going to do, times it by 1.2. That's now what you're going to hit for with your ally attack. So one of the teams which I've played with for a long time in Arena is a blender style team where you're just kind of throwing out people's hard hitting A1s. And he is the best champion in the game to do that. He's also pretty cool on clan boss and stuff as well for the ally attack plus a weaken ability on a kind of short cooldown. But yeah, this ally attack is really why I'm calling it.
Yeah, absolutely. I agree. It's nice because I think ally attack is it minus 25% damage on ally attack. Yeah. So then you're getting that back with the Horde's Fury, which is really, really nice to have. So love that. I'm gonna go with Leorius, man. I'm gonna go with the Void this time. I knew you wanted to go with him, but you couldn't go with another Void, man. I know. You're right. I can't go with a freaking Void again. I love Leo, man. He's my main arena nuker now. He's my main guy. Yeah, because it's just so handy to have him in there. I was kind of using Trunda, Magnar, and Genbo, depending. But now it's just it's easy to set it and forget it because of the A2. He's immune to stun, freeze, sleep, provoke, fear, true fear. He's immune to all the CCs out the gate, which is nice. So he has that built-in immunity. And then on the AoE, hits really hard, kills everybody basically on Awesome Roar. And on the passive, he's ignoring or he's instantly placing on unkillable. He has the Skull Crowned passive, right?
Yeah.
So if the other team happens to go first and my whole team wipes Arbiter and Kaimar and stuff, I mean, there's been so many battles where he's been with 1 HP, just comes in, boom, with the hard-hitting nuke, and he's the only man left alive, and he wins, So, yeah, I love Leo. He's a cool champion. Just overall pretty good as well for, various areas of the game for a damage dealer.
Yeah, 100%. Well, look, I am going to pick on another Void here. I'm going to go with Umisia.
Okay, I like that.
This is a really cool addition to the game, this champion. So I think for Hydra, really useful, but also just generally a spider specialist. So you've got the AoE HP burn, but also stunning at the same time, potentially, or at least putting out decreased speed, turn meter reduction. So you kind of got control as well as the main way to kill the spider. And then we got this A3, which absolutely nukes against a single target that's got a burn on them. So again, nukes and it reduces turn meter. Just a really great ability. Yeah, just a cool champion, I think, and a good addition to the game. Definitely worthy of a Void Legendary. When you get one, you're like, is that really Void Legendary? yeah. This is. You
mean with every other Void Legendary you pull? Yeah. I agree, though. She's very, very cool. I would love to have a champion like this. She's not my most wanted, but if I pulled her, I'd be super excited to your point. So yeah, totally agree with you. I'll go Coronary next. Let's just go all Void here. Coronary is really, really cool. He's a champion that when I pulled him, honestly, I pulled him quite after he was released, and I was surprised, man. I was surprised at how good he is in a control fashion with this A1, So for me, it's all about the amount of damage he can put out. You're like, wow, where did that come from, man? He has 27k base HP. He's got provoke, but he's got an AoE decrease attack, decrease defense as well. So really good kit, really strong kit, but it counterattacks when hit by enemies under decrease attack, defense, or speed, which brings him into his A1, which is an AoE attack. which is depleting turn meter as well. Really, really effective, cool, synergistic champion who brings a lot more than meets the eye, I feel like, to the table in practicality. And yeah, he's a pretty cool guy.
Yeah, no, I definitely would have picked that one there. Look, cool. So I'm going to roll in with number 5. This is hard now. I think all of them are kind of similar level of champion, really. But for me, the one that stands out because of its passive is Noral.
Okay.
Now, people, everyone right now is like switching off. They're like, HellHades, what are you going on about Noral?
I just pulled Noral for the first time, by the way, the ping.
Oh, really?
So,
really? Yeah. Look,
so I like
he's got one of these passives. A passive where he's decreasing the damage the rest of your team take by 15%, or it goes up to 25% if they have their buffs stripped. So, you know, again, if we're talking about some of these new areas of the game like Hydra, he's got this passive which is just straight up mitigating damage, and then he's also got an AoE block buffs. So look, he could do with something else in his kit, honestly, just to make him a sexier champ.
Yeah.
But fast, good defensive stats, good skills. Even his A1 block active skills is good for like an arena ability, but underrated, I would say. Albeit he could use a sneaky buff, but his kit as it is cool. He just needs something else.
I agree. Doesn't it feel like he should have like a, place of block buffs and an increased defense and an ally protect or something
or buff you or something. It just feels like there should be something more. Yeah.
Or even a continuous heal. And he doesn't seem like a healer, but like, I agree with you. A little something extra, but you're right. You know, the foundation is there for a really cool champion. Great for progression too with that aura. All right, but listen, guys, this is gonna do it here. You know, over 50 minutes going through half the champions. The good news is that we're over here. The bad news is I got another hour for you guys to watch over on HellHades right now. This conversation continues over there. Maybe we'll try to be a little bit faster on Hades channel. So we'll see you there. Hades, thanks for coming on, man. Appreciate it.
Ash, thanks for inviting me on again. Hope you guys enjoyed the video. I'll catch you later.
No problem, guys. The link will be in the pinned comment as well for you guys. Thank you for watching, and as always, take care, guys.